One of the things that really drew me down the path of heathenry, especially Norse heathenry, is this idea of ancestral veneration. You don't see that in most of your mainstream religions. And I've always said to myself, I don't know if the gods exist. I believe it, but I don't know it. And that's the thing. If you can, get in that deep inner reflection, say, there's doubt that my beliefs are correct, yet I still believe them, that's what you're called to. That is where you belong in a path of spiritual development. Something I've always said is that I don't know if the gods created man or if man created the gods, but either way, we're both here now. But our ancestors did exist, and we should pay respects to that. I mean, without them, we wouldn't be here. And as it turns out, one of my ancestors is actually buried in Milwaukee. And it's not just any ancestor, he's the one that came from Ireland to the United States. I mean, he really is the reason me and my family are here. And it just seems so surreal that he's buried practically in my own backyard. And every September, I feel like I'm drawn to come try and find his grave and visit him. But something always happens that prevents me from doing it. But I was down in Milwaukee filming at another cemetery pretty much nearby this one, so I hightailed it over here, and we're going to try and find his grave. But first, let me tell you about this wonderful man of mine. Patrick Burns was born on June 2nd, 1825 in Ireland, and died here in Milwaukee on March 13th, 1892. Like many of the Irish, Patrick first came to the New World through Canada. Canada, he then went to Iowa, which is oddly enough where I was born. He fought in the Civil War. He then moved to Alpena County, Michigan, which is where my father and mother were from. From Michigan, he eventually moved back to Wisconsin and in Milwaukee, where my family settles now. It's so strange and surreal to think that, he was in all these places that, Iowa, where I was born, and Michigan, obviously, where my parents were born, and then to have him pass away in Milwaukee, where I've spent most of my life, it's kind of amazing and kind of humbling to see, how, your ancestors were in the land that you're in now. Now, every year around the first week of September, I feel like I'm drawn to this spot, and something always happens that I'm never able to get over here. It happened again this year, but I was filming down here, and this was right across the street from where I was filming, so I figured we come out here, I've got the information, and we're going to try and find his grave and pay our respects to, the man who is, for lack of better words, the reason I am here. The reason my father is here, the reason my grandfather and great-grandfather was here. We all owe it to this one man, and he's here, and I can, in a way, visit him. I'm having a bit of an issue. I have the plot number where he's buried, but the way things are laid out, they have these weird sections. It's not quite matching up, but I think I might have an idea. I'm looking for plot 1324, and I'm standing by section marker 24. So I'm guessing it's somewhere along this stretch here, but where exactly is going to be the issue? This could take a while. So I followed row 24, and now I'm at section 13/14. Not sure if I'm on the right track or not. This place is laid out really weird, but look at that. There's a Theodore Mead. I feel like he and I would have gotten along just fine. So I'm having trouble figuring out just exactly how this place is laid out. I thought I was close, and I am not. It might actually be across the street where I was before. Here's Patrick Duffy, and then it's just right over here is a Thomas Burns. Neither one of these are who I want, though. Really kind of hard to believe that somebody I'm related to was around this long ago, who came from Ireland. Essence isn't really here, but the body is directly below me. It's quite humbling, and there's really just no words for it. Sir Edmund Hillary once said when asked why climb alone, because it's there. It's the same way with why should we honor our ancestors? Because they existed. It's the notion of being forgotten is kind of terrifying. Death itself doesn't frighten me. I don't know what happens next. Maybe we're just gone. Maybe we sit around a great hall with our family, such as Patrick here, and talk about all we've been through. One thing that is for certain, nobody wants to be forgotten. That alone, so we should always honor our ancestors.